finicky with it. Alright, stop there. Alright, same thing. I've got all this selected. Shift D, scale it down a bit, move it to where you want it. And you know, actually, I want to start giving these guys the body sections more more of a round look instead of this flat. So I'm just going to pull these faces out a bit. A little more. And that's much better. Okay. Oops. Okay, so out of edit mode, select these two. Because then I also have more room to play with, giving it, you know, getting it sectioned up. I can kind of put it in there and it looks more realistic as a section. So yeah, just changing this up. That looks good. Move on to the next section. So yeah, it's basically the same thing over and over. You know, this is it's a pretty easy Pokemon model, which is why I chose it. And you know, it's something beginners can do. Something, you know, gives you some material experience and stuff like that. So, I think I may skip ahead in the video, but we'll see. Skip ahead to the end section, because basically you just keep doing this until you get to the end, and you keep curving it around, moving it over. And for this one, you can actually move the foot outwards a little bit. Same thing with this one. So you can see in the picture, that's what it's doing. His feet come more, instead of along the bottom or diagonally from it, it moves toward the side. So our feet should reflect that. And I think that does that nicely. What section are we on? 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So only 2 more sections to go. Shift D. Move it over. Rotate it. Scale it down. Move it into position. And that's looking very nice. And then for this one, we only need to grab this body part, move it over, and I reset the rotation on it so I can edit it. Because this one is more kind of like a disc, so in proportional editing, which is an amazing tool, I'm gonna use it kind of on and off, but you know, in a couple of clicks, there it was. I just had these faces grabbed, moved it down with proportional editing, and then there's my disc. So, and then I got out of proportional editing and moved it down to make it more disc-like. So we can now attach this to Weedle and scale it down because that's huge. Rotate it a little bit, and that looks pretty good. And for here, cursor selected, I'm just going to add a cylinder, and that's freaking huge. Scale that down. Actually, for me, I always like to do things, manipulate the object as much as I can before I rotate it, because then it makes it just much easier to put on there, I guess, because it's already been manipulated and such. And you don't have to, you can still scale along the X and Y axis, and if it's rotated, say if I grab this, just for an example, say I grab this face and move it along, move along the X axis, that would be much different than if this was right side up. I could actually manipulate it, the same way. So, that looks pretty good. And we're on to the stinger at the end. So for this, I'm going to do this in a cylinder. Scale it down immensely. I'm going to, let's see, in edit mode. Come on. Well, that was weird. I don't know why it popped up there, but I'll have to figure that out. Like I said, I'm a Blender noob, so bear with me. Let's see. There we go. Gonna need a little more height, and we're gonna add some loops in there with Control R, and then scrolled up with the mouse wheel. Probably gonna add one more in here, in the middle, and what the heck, right there. So this bottom one, I'm gonna scale down, and you know what? Proportional editing would actually be pretty cool on this part, because you can scale the whole thing down. So I'm just, alt-right clicking and playing with it, scaling it down, playing with what I want it to look like. And for this, it doesn't come to a point, it's more like a circle, so I'm going to move this, turn that off with O, remove that down, and way down, put another loop in here, and scale it out, fatten it up. I'm also going to hit Control E with this loop selected and hit Edge Slide, and slide that down. That way it's, it's just more round than anything else. And I realized that these need to be scaled down. Okay, so that looks pretty dang good. We'll probably manipulate it more as we get it on there. Oops. The whole thing. Rotate it on there. Scale it down significantly. Okay. just going to turn. So, to make it kind of curved that way, I'm just going to grab these faces with proportional editing on. What I'm also going to do is click this little button so I can grab the faces behind it. Okay, sorry about that. Got a little, had the doorbell ring. So, back here. And really all I'm going to do is see, grab these faces, I've got proportional editing on, and then move them over. And if I move it over and rotate a little bit, already it looks pretty good. I can see that this is good. That looks pretty dang good. You know, just moving it, scale it down a little more so that it kind of fits on that stinger end there. I'll assign this the material for the eyes, and then this the material for the stinger, and well, bam, there you go. If I move this camera around, actually that's not bad. You can see that this needs to be a little bigger. So does the whole thing here. And that looks really good. So if I slicked everything, it's smooth. Look at that, there's your Weedle. So if I render this image, you know, it's probably going to look okay. Yeah, because the lighting's kind of poor. But what I did in my other one, if I open it up, is I used the spotlight over here. It just kind of shone pretty brightly on here, and then a hemi light down here to kind of soften out these dark spots. And the result of this is this little Weedle. So play around with the lighting, play around, you know, maybe rig them up, post a video response. I mean, post some responses. I'm learning just as much as you guys are, so you know, thanks for watching, and let me know how it goes.